Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney, and today I'm going to be telling you about the travel that I've been doing. If my voice sounds tired, it's because I have been tired. But I have been to two different sewing related, like a show and then a vendor market in the past couple of weeks. And I want to show you my haul and what I picked up at the consumer show, and then just tell you some exciting things that kind of happened at the business to business or the vendor show as well. So that's what today's video is going to be about. And yeah, I'm excited to show you all the things. I've got some really good stuff here, so I'm very excited to share. Yeah, everything that kind of happened. Okay, so like I mentioned, I've been to two separate shows in the past like 2 weeks. So Jenni and I, it was like the 15th, 16th, 17th, or no, it was the 18th, 19th, I don't know. Whatever the weekend in April that was that Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I think it was the 18th, 19th, and 20th, maybe. I don't know. Somewhere in there. Whatever those dates were for that Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Jenni and I made the trek to Cleveland for the Sew Expo, the original Quilting and Sewing Expo, which is the show that travels to a whole bunch of different areas, and Cleveland is one of those. This is the same show that or run by the same people that, like, gosh, they hit like Lakeland and Florida. They hit New Orleans. I mean, like 10 different places. Let's see, Novi, the one that's up in Detroit. It's the same group. Anyway, we went to kind of test that out. Jenni's in-laws are from Cleveland, so we had a place to stay. Cleveland's about a 5-hour drive from the Indianapolis area, so we decided to make a drive and go and just check things out, have a look. Basically seeing if this was maybe a place that I would want to do some in-person teaching. We're trying to find ways that I can do some in-person teaching that's a little less stressful from a logistical point of view for Jenni and I, so that we aren't the ones, planning out all the little details, like, how people eat and where people stay and those kind of things, where I could just come in and teach and meet you guys face to face, and an opportunity to maybe hit a whole bunch of different areas, eventually, to where I can meet people from all over the US. So that is kind of what we were going for. That show was a consumer show, meaning that they had stuff for sale. Any consumers could come in and be at the show. It was a lot of fun. And I'll show you my haul here for that in just a second. And then we just got back from H&H Americas, which is a vendor trade show in Chicago. Now, this is for the entire craft industry, and it's a business to business, meaning this is where quilt shops and yarn shops and, fabric shops, they come to look at the different fabric and order. So there wasn't things for sale at this shop. People were placing wholesale orders, I'll put it that way. So there weren't really just consumers that were at this show. In fact, the classes that they held at this show were all business related, the state of the union, the state of the industry type things. Jenni and I did attend a content creator summit, which was super helpful, just kind of talking about ways that we can help our audiences, ways that we can work with different brands, all that kind of thing. It was very informative. Now, I will say this is the third year that H&H has happened, I believe, third or fourth. And it started off as a yarn show. So knitting, crocheting, any kind of yarn arts, and has evolved into all the crafting industry. It was still pretty yarn heavy. So in other words, at this content, Creator Summit, which was a lot of panels, a lot of brands that were talking. It was very yarn heavy. So a lot of yarn brands, companies that do a lot with knitting, crocheting, weaving, that sort of stuff. But there were, and then I would say second behind that would be the quilting industry, which obviously goes in with what I do with sewing. And there were quite a few vendors that were selling, garment fabric and stuff like that. In fact, my local garment store, my local fabric store that sells garment fabrics, I saw her there at the show. And I was like, oh, good, you're here. Let me show you some some things I've seen that maybe you want to stock in your shop. Anyway, that was kind of what that was all about, and we had a really good time. So we'll talk about Chicago first, and then we will go into what I grabbed in Cleveland. So I do have a couple of things to show you from Chicago, mostly because I made actually a lot of connections with Oh, some fabric stores. I talked a little bit more with Bernina, a little bit more in depth while we were there. Some really cool notions and that sort of thing as well that I'm really excited. These kind of partnerships are going to be the things that, number one, maybe allow me to teach in other places, be brought in by companies and stuff to teach in other places, but also some partnerships for stuff on the channel, new things for you guys to see, but also some stuff that's going to allow more free content to be on here as well, which is really exciting for all parties involved. Anyway, it was a really good show. I met a lot of really fabulous people and a lot of really wonderful brands. And I mean, you guys know the crafting community period is just wonderful. And that extends to a lot of the businesses as well. We didn't meet anyone that was snooty or anything. Everyone was very warm and open. So we were at the show 2 days. The first day, I was actually in the Schmetz Needle booth and did a live there. That was in the newsletter, if you guys got to catch that. Spoke with Rhonda, who is their social media person for Schmetz, and she also does a lot of like educational stuff for Schmetz. Anyway, I was in her booth for her live, and along with 5 or 6 other seamstresses or other brands, basically, mostly quilters. And I think I was the only garment sewist that was there for the live. But anyway, it was wonderful to meet those ladies and to chit chat with them a little bit. And that was really, really cool. And Rhonda gave me a little goodie bag, and I even got a little sample of the new needles that Schmetz is releasing. There's like a top stitch needle that would be really great for like jeans and that sort of thing. It's like a twin top stitch needle. So not for stretch fabrics, but just like for regular fabrics. They've got these new gold tip. I mean, it was, I don't know, a package of like maybe 6 or 7 of these new needles that I'm kind of excited to try out. I mean, I love Schmetz. That's what I use in both my machines, my industrial and my home machine. So anyway, that was really lovely to chat with her. Another company that I talked to, and if you are a quilter, they're absolutely going to be a company I'm sure that you've heard of, but I had not heard of them. And when we started chatting, they're called Sew Tights, and so TITES, and they do these magnetic sewing pens. Again, huge in the quilting world. So it's basically allowing you to pin things with magnets, but they're different strength magnets, so they don't stick to the throat plate. And so without, things getting in the way, and it keeps things nice and firm. So if you're doing a lot of applique, that kind of stuff, but it is also wonderful for just plain sewing. So they gave me this 12-pack of machine mix. So it's 3 different weights and 3 different sizes, as you can see. And there's 4 of these 3 packs that are in here because I'm getting ready to do a leather bag that we'll be talking more about in June. And I'm very excited. She said this is perfect for fabrics that you don't want to put pinholes in. Now, the Wonder Clips are also really nice. I've used Wonder Clips for all sorts of things, but I'm very interested to see how these go. And for any kind of cutting out, they have a whole, some really cool magnetic, especially for the quilting world, but some really cool magnetic boards that you can magnetize your fabric down, and one of them swivels. So if you're cutting out a certain shape of quilt, block, or piece, it turns. So you're not having to go around the piece. You can just turn. It's like on a Lazy Susan. It's really cool. I was watching. I'm like, oh, the quilters have all the cool stuff. They have some really, really cool stuff. And I met quite a few quilters that, were selling certain notions. Some really cool stuff. So, that's exciting. But anyway, very excited to try these out. And again, I will be talking a little bit more about these once I have had a chance to kind of try them out a little bit. I think that this would be excellent they're getting ready to come out with a larger cutting mat that's like 24 by 48. And that would be great for projector sewing, which I'm interested in. And I believe Aronica from Needle and the Bell uses their systems for cutting out with her projector. But anyway, excited to try these and to see how these work out. Okay, the second day that we were at the actual show, I was actually in the Oliso booth. And if you're not familiar with Oliso, they are an iron company that have the coolest robot iron. We chatted, let's see, actually in Seattle, when I was at the Sew Expo in Seattle. And I've been chatting with them a little bit more because I've got an industrial, like gravity fed iron that I use in my workshop, but that is not typical for most home sewers. I'm trying to get my workroom more typical to home sewers. So when I'm teaching, it looks a lot like what other people have. And I know that a lot of people have sewing spaces that have to be knocked down and put away and then pulled back out, or they, it's a little corner or whatever, and having a iron mounted somewhere is not feasible for many people. So I've been looking around just for the best like actual iron around, and oh my gosh, the Aliso iron, if you guys are not familiar with it, it is amazing. It's the one that Mimi G had a line that was like her design on it, but it's the iron that it is super lightweight. But it notices when you take your hand off, and when your hand comes off, it stands up on little legs. So you're never putting it up on its butt. It just stands up. It's such a steamy iron. It's a little robot iron. It's a really cool iron. Again, super lightweight. I have been using it for like exclusively for since I don't know, mid-March. They sent me the big one, and they also sent me their little one. This is the newest, this M3. Oh my gosh, isn't it cute? Jenny's named him Little Buddy. This is like the silicone pad that he sits on, so he does not raise up like the big one. But this little guy, you want to keep next to your machine. So for quilters or garment sewists, next to your machine, and they have these wool mats that you can buy that work as like a pressing station, like right next to you. And so if you're just doing like little bits and pieces, you can sew right there by your machine as you go. He has like a little light on him. He is really cool and just really cool. So anyway, both of these irons I've been got a chance to like play around with. And I was in their booth doing a little demonstration with their big iron. And that was really cool. I got to meet a lot of really cool people there. See all sorts of things. And they had a quilter had bedazzled with like little crystals, one of their big irons, and it was in the fashion show. It was so cool. Anyway, that was a lot of fun. But stay tuned for more on Aliso. I will be talking a little bit more about the iron and that kind of stuff, because if you are purchasing just a regular iron for your sewing room, this thing is fantastic. The story behind it's really cool. I won't get into that today, but how it kind of came about. And everyone that I was there, all of the people that I like ran into that were just doing like little demonstrations, not ironing related, but they had an iron there because they were doing it, had one of these little guys next to him. I was like, oh my gosh, they got the Aliso. There was like an interfacing company that was fusing and showing things, and they had the little Aliso, and also they were everywhere. Anyway, very, very cool. And they have, if you're a quilter, you're familiar with Tula Pink, who is a fabric designer and quilter. And they've got the Tula Pink iron, a little one and big one, that are just really cool. They're just really pretty, like aesthetically pleasing, but also a really cool design, the little robot irons. So that is what was entailed in Chicago. Now, so that was, it was a much different experience than what we did in Cleveland. Cleveland was your typical quilting and stitching show. They had classes and stuff like that. Where you could take about, draping or, different quilting things or all sorts of stuff, knitting and sewing related. And, also had like a whole vendor floor, and I did buy some things, from there. So, the first thing that I came across was, Nit So Fabulous. And she is in Detroit, and she was a delight to talk to. But her thing is that she goes and gets estate fabrics and all that stuff, and then sells them in her shop. So all of her stuff is like vintage or kind of like to Stashify, kind of. Except that she's gone ahead and purchased it, so there's not taking the middleman out. But it's all like repurposed fabrics. And I got 2 cottons, and they're so beautiful. And they were both on a bolt. So this was the first cotton I grabbed. Isn't that beautiful? So this is like a warm red orange with the mustard. Absolutely. These are both going to be summer dresses, maybe even shirt dresses. I don't know. You guys know that I switch completely to like almost full dress wardrobe when the weather gets warm. In fact, you see my sweater, but I'm actually wearing the Grace slip dress from Seamwork underneath it. So I'm wearing it kind of as a skirt. It's a little chillier today. But anyway, Absolutely loved this fabric. Gosh, she had leather hides. She had beautiful wools. I had to restrain myself. And then I grabbed quite a bit of this one too. Let me try and find, this is the wrong side of the fabric that's showing. Let me find a corner here. This is another cotton, and it just screamed summer to me. Because look at this print. Look at this floral print. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, black is not my thing, but the colors that are on top of it are. Actually, I think the black background kind of makes all the clear colors really pop. And I kind of think this is going to be a shirt dress as well. And I'm trying to remember how much I bought of each of these. Both of these were on a bolt. So I bought yardage. I didn't buy pieces. 4 yards maybe. I feel like I bought more of this because this was narrower. But anyway, and this one's got, I don't know if it's got anything on the selvage. It might not. On names or whatever. But that was a lot of fun to pick through her stuff. And yeah, she was a delight to talk to as well. She had made herself this most beautiful necklace all out of safety pins. It was stunning. It was like a statement piece. It was so cool. And then the other place that I bought some stuff with, I was actually very reserved. I have to pat myself on the back, but Amanda's Bundles was there. And I, as you guys know, with my workout lookbook that I did not that long ago, I used quite a bit of her fabrics that I picked up in Seattle for that for that lookbook, and I have been wearing them at the gym. I said I would report back. I'm very pleased with how they are breathable and how comfortable they are. My shorts are staying in place when I'm working out, which is fabulous. The fabric's gripping, my legs and stuff. It's not riding up. I've been very impressed with the fabric. So I wanted to pop by and see if she had any other kind of activewear fabrics. And I guess 2 could be considered activewear. But then I ended up walking away with 2 wovens. So she is mostly knit fabrics, but she does occasionally have some wovens. And when I saw both of these, and she actually pulled this one out because it was folded in a bag and you couldn't really see it. But look at this cotton. Isn't that pretty? So it is it's white cotton, obviously, at the top, and then it fades into the yellow and then to the green, and then it's a double border. So this little border is on both sides of the yardage, and I've got 2 yards of this. And I really want to do just a blouse, like a real summery kind of boho style blouse. I mean, maybe even, I was looking at a couple of seam work patterns that I could maybe make, or even another Love Notions Rhapsody blouse. I just thought it was so pretty and perfect for summer. So something really loose and kind of bohemian. But it was kind of folded, where you could only see a little bit. And she was like, oh no, you have to see this fabric, and unfolded it and held it up. I'm like, okay, yeah, I need that one. So that was the first woven I grabbed. And then the second woven, Jenni eyed, because Jenni has been wanting a fun button-up shirt. So this is Jenni's colors, this pink stripe. It's just like a cotton shirting, and this kind of a, I don't know, like a lavender ochre kind of stripe, so you can kind of see the stripe up close. But it's got these embroidered pineapples all over it, which we thought was so cute, and what a fun, summery button-up shirt. So Jenni grabbed that one, and we're going to make her a shirt out of that. And I think it's either 2 or 3 yards out of this one. It was enough to make a shirt, and it's pretty wide. So those were the 2 wovens I grabbed. And then I couldn't walk away without getting some more of the Peached Performance, which is the activewear fabric that it was the lime green and the red were the Peached Performance that I grabbed from her back in Seattle. And so I grabbed, this is peach. So I will not be making leggings or shorts with the peach because it would absolutely look like I was naked. But I grabbed some because I was thinking this would be such a cute, I think it would be fine if I did like a little skirt. So something that's not like fitted to your body, but a little swishy skirt would be absolutely lovely in this. And I'm kind of thinking of making a few pieces because I think, I can't remember if this is 2 yards or 3 yards. I'll have to check the bag. I want to make some golf wear out of this. And I thought like a peach little golf skirt would be really cute to wear on the course. And maybe I could even make myself a little polo shirt out of this. I probably wouldn't wear them together, but I could do some mixing and matching with other things in my wardrobe. Just a little bit lighter color and, a little bit, I don't know, it feels a little bit more summery. So, and peach fuzz, you know, color of the year. So anyway, I am looking forward to making some golf wear out of this. And I am going to be doing a video on patterns that I use for golf wear and like a little lookbook on what I wear when I play golf, because I do make all of my golf wear that I wear on the course. So there's that. And then finally, or not finally, I have one more thing. This totally just jumped in my arms. So this is a poly nylon spandex it's swimwear. Swimsuit knit. Okay, and I know this isn't going to be for everyone, but the colors jumped out at me because, yes, it is a desert scene. It is swimsuit fabric, but I have a couple of swimsuits that I want to try this summer, one of which is the Frankie by Edgewater patterns, and it's got kind of, it comes in at the waist a little bit, and it has cup sizes, but it's a one piece, and I thought this could be fun to play around with, because I think the pattern will get a little bit lost with all the ruching and stuff and look a little bit more, less like a scene from the desert and a little bit more like abstract with just the colors, but I think it's kind of kitschy and fun, so I grabbed that for a swimsuit for myself. So, and maybe, I mean, there might be some, I could do a wild pair of workout leggings if I wanted to. But yeah, I think that I thought that was fun. And then the final thing that I grabbed is this bundle of leather scraps. So, and I mean, they're gorgeous. There's like all these like pinks. A lot of these are Jenni's colors. And we saw these. We were kind of looking at, there is currently for sale, a kit on making your own Birkenstock sandals. It's pricey, which, you know, I get, whatever. But Jenni and I, once we opened these up and looked at the size of the scraps, thought it would also be a lot of fun to play around with these and make some little like bags or like coin purses or, you know, just little things that, you know, little bags that you can put into other bags and just kind of have some fun with them. They're different weights, so some of them are a little bit thicker. So maybe it's a little bit more simpler, you know, bags and that sort of thing. There's some metallic ones that are in here. Anyway, we grabbed this as well just because we thought it'd be fun to play around with. And we could also mix and match it with some of our thrifted leather. There's a lot of options that we could do there, which could be a lot of fun. So those are all the things that I grabbed in Cleveland. Met some wonderful people in Cleveland as well, just some actual seamstresses, viewers and that sort of thing, which was fun. Did not do that in Chicago. Chicago was just, you know, talking. Actually, Chicago was a lot of fun because I ran into Tammy and Tessa from Love Notions, and I've never met them in person before. So I got to meet them in person, which was really lovely because we've been working together for so long. Being able to actually, I'm an ambassador for Love Notions, and being able to actually meet them face to face was wonderful. I got to meet Michelle from Style Maker Fabric. She was there. I got to meet her face to face, which was just like really fun to be able to meet some people that I've been talking to online in that sense, and actually getting to meet them in person. Same with the Schmetz booth and also the Oliso booth. Getting to meet those people actually face to face was really wonderful. So anyway, it has been a very busy April into early May. I am ready to be back in my sewing room and kind of settling down, bringing you all sorts of wonderful content and that sort of thing. That being said, we have a lot of really fun things planned for May. I'm filming a lot this week. The week that you're watching this, I'm doing a lot of filming for some fun and exciting and a little bit different content. You know, still sewing, but kind of doing some different things just to, I don't know, make things fun, freshen things up a little bit, but also some of the old favorites as well. I'll be having my summer ready-to-wear looks and patterns. That'll be coming out in May here soon. I've made Jenni a dress. That'll be on Friday. Actually made her 2 dresses, so we'll be talking about that a little bit more. More Destashify makes. There's a whole bunch of stuff happening. Lots of sewing, lots of fun, lots of education. Get some tutorials thrown in there as well as we go through the month. And yeah, spreading the love of sewing, right? Like that's what this is all about. Spreading the love of garment sewing to everyone so that everyone can enjoy this wonderful hobby. Everyone that's interested can enjoy this wonderful hobby. And that's what it's all about, right? Okay, guys, that is all I have for today. I hope you've enjoyed my little haul, and I will see you guys again on Friday. I hope you get some sewing in this week. I will definitely be doing some sewing this week and can't wait to share with you all as I go. All right, have a good one. Bye.